LG G-Pad 8.3 strongly resembles the new Nexus 7, but it also is playing in the same category as another 8-inch tablet device, the Galaxy Note 8.0. We're going to take a quick look at how these compare here at IFA in 2013 in Berlin. I'm Michael Fisher with Pocketnow. Let's get to it. So side by side, the differences in aesthetic design become apparent. LG has opted for an aluminum back panel here in contrast with Samsung's traditional build quality of hyperglazed polycarbonate. You can also notice right up front here that the speakers, these are stereo speakers left and right on the back. Unfortunately, they are back mounted, not side mounted like on Samsung's device. Which one you prefer will depend on how you use the tablet more. We're able to cover up these speakers with our thumbs in both our full review and the After the Buzz a little more often than we would have liked, so maybe you will prefer this arrangement. Both have 5-megapixel primary cameras around the back as well, and as far as thickness goes, we're not looking at a major gulf there. LG's new tablet is 8.3 millimeters. The real difference, of course, being, and I should mention, by the way, IR blaster there, IR blaster up top, or transmitter if you prefer. The real difference being measurement-wise in bezel size. These are, I believe, 7.9 millimeters on the new LG tablet. Samsung's bezel size significantly larger, thanks to the requirement to include the S Pen, which of course we've looked at quite a bit. Everyone knows how that works and what kind of value that adds. LG did not include a stylus on this device. You can use a capacitive stylus with it, of course, but there are some aspects of the software that emulate or reproduce some of the Note 8's features. We're going to take a look at those in a second, but just so we get a feel for the displays here. This is a 1920 by 1200 display over here, 8.3 inches full HD IPS. The Galaxy Note, I believe, is 1280 by 800. Obviously a big pixel density improvement on the LG product. Let's take a look in software and see what we can learn. In terms of software here, it's a little difficult to show the differences in the lock screen because LG's unit here is locked into some kind of a retail demo mode. But the new G-Pad 8.3 does have knock-on, which allows you to double tap on the screen both to lock and to unlock the tablet, which we find pretty nice. Samsung replicating that functionality with a physical home button down below, which LG does not incorporate. You can see the software keys down here, back, home, and menu. A couple other hidden features in there as well, but the lock button is off to the side on each one. We can lock and unlock traditionally if you prefer. As we were saying before, the S Pen adds a whole lot of functionality to the Note 8 that we've talked rather extensively about. But LG has not been skimping on the added features here. As you can see in the notification tray here, we've got very similar controls as far as brightness goes and some of those toggles. There's an entire tray of Q-Slide apps which you can run. It's LG's multitasking approach, which you can run these apps side by side. You can run them in Windows. You have various options for changing their transparency and so on. But one of the areas that excites us the most is the difference in multitasking approach. At Samsung, you can pull up the application ribbon there, of course, as you can, and on any Android device. And you can also, well, I'm not going to do that one. You can also throw applications, two applications side by side with each other, and you can switch them, invert them, and so on. That's really a lot of fun. LG, in addition to providing the standard multitasking ribbon, just like on the Samsung device or any Android device, it has slide aside. So we can open Chrome. There we go, there's Chrome. And if you, rather than just closing it, you use 3 fingers to swipe it off to the side. It's a little bit of a cumbersome gesture, but once you get the hang of it, and assuming you have 3 fingers handy, you throw all these over there, and then when you want to pull that ribbon back, you just 3-finger swipe over there. You have your apps, you can tap right into them to jump into them, or if you prefer, you hop back in here, you can toss them off the top of the screen. As Anton just noted in his hands-on with this device, it's a lot like WebOS. Of course, LG now owns the rights to much of WebOS, so that shouldn't be a surprise. It is interesting. There's a lot of other features here, and of course we've got LG's Q memo, which, though there's no S Pen here, does allow you to use your fingertip, does provide quite a few options for what kind of marker you want to use. You want to say circle this and say, yeah, we want to do a Hangout, and we definitely want to do it on Google. And we also sort of want to do a voice search later on. I don't know who would do that, but if you wanted to do that, you could do it. A lot of other functionality here, of course, as well. But this is just a very, very quick look the software differences here between TouchWiz on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.0 and LG's custom UI. I will say this, LG, no stranger to making responsive user interfaces. This is kind of similar, but you can notice this little springy action when we get to the end of the home screen here. The icons just come up and they bounce back. Yeah, it's a little cartoony, it's a little gimmicky, but it is responsive. It's the kind of responsiveness we first saw on the, what was it, the Optimus G. Really blew us away, and that appears to be the case here. Just not, even though this device has been abused, it's also running in a special retail mode. Really, really quite, I mean, really tough to get this to bog down. It's pretty impressive. Galaxy Note 8, no slouch, of course, but Samsung, you know, not quite as up to the task in terms of raw responsiveness of the UI. But, like we say, very quick look. We're going to have a proper comparison of these two devices in the weeks ahead once we get a review unit in our hands. Till now, till then rather. We have a lot more to do at IFA here in Berlin. I'm Michael Fisher with Pocketnow. That's Tony behind the camera. Stay tuned for a lot more.